Emily had boarded an old train with her father, heading to a remote mountain village. The creaking of the train and the constant shaking made her uneasy. It felt as though something was following them with every turn of the track. Emily pressed her face against the window, staring at the darkening forest outside. Her father seemed more tense than usual, and Emily couldn't ignore the growing sense of fear in the air. "We'll be entering the forest soon," her father said, his voice shaky. "But don't be too sure that everything will go smoothly." Emily didn't understand why her father was so worried, but she quietly nodded, continuing to watch the trees growing darker and closer with each bend in the tracks. Suddenly, the train screeched to a halt with an unsettling jolt. Her father closed his eyes for a moment and took a deep breath. "We have to stop here," he said. "This is a very bad place." Emily's heart raced. Something was wrong, but she couldn't put her finger on it. Father and daughter got off the train and walked down a narrow path into the forest. The deeper they went, the darker and denser the trees became, as if they were being swallowed by the shadows. Then, strange whispering sounds began to echo through the trees. Emily's heart pounded in her chest. "Dad, what's that?" she asked, her voice trembling. Her father quickly grabbed her arm and whispered urgently, "Run, run, now." Emily was confused. Who's coming?" Before she could get an answer, two men emerged from the dark forest. Both were wearing black clothing, their eyes cold and lifeless. In their hands, they gripped sharp knives. They weren't ordinary people, they were hired killers. Her father's face went pale as he recognized them. "Hired killers. They found us," he whispered. "We need to hide now." The men approached with terrifying calmness, their eyes locked on Emily and her father. The tension in the air thickened. Emily's father stepped in front of her, pushing her behind him. When Emily finally reached the village, she was out of breath, her body trembling with fear. But there was no sign of her father. The village was eerily quiet, as though everyone was hiding. The feeling in the air was wrong, unnatural. People stood in the village square, staring at her with strange, cold eyes. Some held weapons, knives, sticks, and other ominous tools. They weren't just villagers, they were waiting. An old man slowly approached Emily. His face was gaunt, his eyes hollow. "Where's my father? Where is he?" Emily asked, her voice shaky. The old man looked at her, his gaze empty. "He's gone, child. Those two men, they always come here. No one escapes them," he said softly. "You'll be taken care of now. But you must understand, there's no escaping them."